passing away. But I think it could also be like you lose your best friend or like you're no longer friends. There's a loss in a relationship. That can also be, a grieving process too.
Or even, it can be any significant life event that you are disappointed in.
Yeah.
Maybe you can grieve over losing a job.
Sure.
If in a significant job sort of thing. Or...
Yeah, you've worked at a company for 30 years and they fired you.
Yeah. And maybe you lose a friend, not they passed away, but maybe they backstabbed you.
Yeah, betrayal.
Like your relationship just...
Right.
A divorce.
Uh-huh.
All of these things can be grief.
Absolutely. So this month we are talking about Dean. And Dean lost his sister 20 years ago. And still he feels it comes in waves. So he's watching a video and he gets very emotional today.
Yes.
So we'll read that in just a bit. How about the expression double-edged sword?
So this means something has a very good point, but also a very bad point.
At the same time.
At the same time.
And if you lose it?
Lose it here means you're losing control of your emotions.
Got it.
You can no longer stay just kind of calm. Maybe you're getting really sad or really angry.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go ahead and listen to our dialogue. Hey, Dean. How are you feeling today?
Better. The grief comes in waves. I felt great last night looking at old home movies from when we were kids.
That must have been nice. My family barely has any photos from my childhood.
Yeah, but it's a double-edged sword. Because there was a close-up of her smiling face in one movie, and I lost it.
Be grateful to have so many good memories of her. A lot of people aren't that close to their families.
You're right about that.
Please join us on page 62. The title is Dealing with Grief, It Comes in Waves. Mandy begins by saying, Hey, Dean, how are you feeling today? And Dean says, better. The grief comes in waves. I felt great last night looking at old home movies from when we were kids. Okay, so the grief comes in waves. So as we talked about, if something comes in waves, it comes and then it goes. It comes and it goes. And there is that feeling of like, you don't know when the wave will come.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Another common place I hear this is with pain.
Oh, yes.
Especially women about to give birth.
Contractions.
The contractions, that 진통, right?
Yeah.
It's not constant all the time.
No.
It comes and it's really strong. Then it goes away. Or I've never experienced this.
You heard about it.
Right? I've heard about it. But it is not as strong for a little bit. And then it comes back again really strong.
You know what else? I had both experiences because I had a baby, but I also had kidney stones. And the pain comes in waves. You're okay? And then like, oh, here we go. And it just like you can't even move.
Yeah. So certain really strong pains can come in waves as well.
Okay, very good. So the grief comes in waves. So Dean was actually, was feeling good because he saw these old home videos. And then Mandy says what?
That must have been nice. My family barely has any photos from my childhood.
Okay. That must have been nice. So that must have been is our power pattern. How do we use this pattern?
I think it's great here to just look at the Korean 좋았겠네.
좋았겠네.
So this
Yeah,
ket, right? This ket, it's very simple to express in Korean.
Yeah.
But it's
very long.
Right. It's very long in English. That must have been nice.
Right.
It is that same feeling.
Right. So it's a great pattern when you're kind of trying to engage in the conversation. Like, 아이고, that must have been terrible.
Right.
Right?
You can use it in the negative. You can also say, oh, that must have been fun.
Yeah, right.
Or that must have been delicious.
Yeah, 맛있었겠다.
You must have enjoyed that.
Right.
This must have really does have that Korean 좋았겠네.
좋았겠네.
Yeah.
아니면은 뭐, 정말 싫었겠네.
Yeah.
Any of those things.
Yes.
It's a great pattern. Okay, so Mandy says, that must have been nice because she doesn't have many photos from her childhood. And then Dean says,
Yeah, but it's a double-edged sword. Because there was a close-up of her smiling face in one movie, and I lost it.
Okay, we've got a lot of things going on here. First of all, Dean says, it's a double-edged sword, meaning these videos and having these photos, it's a double-edged sword. So what is he saying?
So this is whenever there's something really good and really bad at the same time.
Right.
Where it's nice to have these pictures, but Dean then describes why sometimes it's not nice to have all of those pictures.
Yes, that's right. So he's saying it's not nice because he says there was a close-up of her smiling face in one movie and I lost it. So because he had access, because he had all these photos and videos, it made him very sentimental.
Yes.
Okay. He had a close-up of her smiling face. A close-up is our power vocab.
Right.
Yeah.
In Korean, you also say close-up, right? I think here it is important to talk about the pronunciation. In Korean, you have the close-up, right? So you think it would be the Z sound.
Right.
Close up.
Yeah.
But here, it is not close up. It is the S sound.
Close up.
Close up.
That's right.
Yeah.
But of course, as a verb, like close the door.
Yes.
Right? You have that Z sound.
Right.
Okay, so it's a close-up of her smiling face. So you can see her smiling face very closely. And then Dean, because of this smile, he lost it.
Yes.
So if you lose it, and it being very important.
Yes.
Because if you say, I lost my bag, okay, then 잃어버렸어. But in this case, lose it.
Yes. You're losing control, and it here is your emotions. So this can go in a few different ways. Here we are talking about sadness. So I assume he burst into tears. Just absolutely started crying. However, this expression does not have to be just for sadness. It can also be for anger.
Right.
And when it's anger and you lose it, maybe you are yelling at someone.
Right.
Maybe you're throwing something.
Right.
It is a very violent reaction.
That's right. And so we'll give you examples in just a bit, but in this context, it is about just like you lost it in terms of your emotions. The grief just came out.
Yes.
Okay. Mandy says, be grateful to have so many good memories of her. A lot of people aren't that close to their families. And Dean says, you're right about that. So, so Mandy is saying it's nice that you had such a close relationship and that you still feel this way.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, let's go ahead and listen to that one more time.
Hey, Dean. How are you feeling today?
Better. The grief comes in waves. I felt great last night looking at old home movies from when we were kids.
That must have been nice. My family barely has any photos from my childhood.
Yeah, but it's a double-edged sword. Because there was a close-up of her smiling face in one movie, and I lost it.
Be grateful to have so many good memories of her. A lot of people aren't that close to their families.
You're right about that.
It's time for Power Note. We're on pages 64 and 65. We have some great expressions. Let's see some more examples. If something comes in waves, it means to come and go at certain times.
Yes.
And there is a feeling that sometimes it is unexpected. All right. How does your leg feel since your accident?
The pain from my sprained ankle comes in waves, especially after walking.
So this is very commonly used when describing pain.
Yes.
Okay. Happiness comes in waves, but it's important to appreciate the small moments. Yeah, we can't be happy all the time.
It's true.
If you are, I don't know what kind of life you're living.
Well, yeah, I think most people are programmed to where even if the situation stays the same, you start out really happy and then you get used to it.
Right.
And then you're no longer happy. You know?
So happiness comes in waves. Everything comes in waves. But the important thing is that you have to be grateful or appreciate the small moments.
You know what else can come in waves?
What else?
Success.
True.
Right?
Yes.
So success oftentimes, you don't have any success, you're working hard,
Yeah.
nothing happens, and then bam! You get success.
Right.
And then it kind of stumps.
Uh-huh.
Like you stay on that level for a while.
And then it starts going down.
starts maybe going down. And then you still work on it. Bam!
Oh.
You know, you get another wave of success.
Yeah.
So many things in life come in waves.
I think life in general, just, everything in life just comes in waves.
Life comes in waves.
Life comes in waves.
Sometimes I'm paying attention.
It's so true.
Sometimes I'm not.
There is no linear line when it comes to life, right? So I think this is a great expression to know. Now, if something is a double-edged sword, it means that it has bad and good at the same time. Here's an example. Why don't you use any of the social media platforms, Billy?
Social media is a double-edged sword. It connects us, but it also turns us against each other.
Okay, good thing, it connects us. Bad thing, it turns us against each other. If you are turned against each other, what does this mean?
You're fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe not actual fighting, but you're comparing yourself to one another. You're thinking badly about each other.
Right. And I feel that, people who have some fame in social media, they get a lot of love, but they also get a lot of backlash, a lot of negative comments, really mean.
Yeah. There are a lot of, I know, Hollywood actors that are famous because of movies that they just decide, I'm not going to do social media.
Yeah.
Because they don't,
It's true.
on their side, they're probably only going to get the bad effects of social media,
Right.
not the good stuff.
Right. And I have to say, I'm very lucky. I have a social media account, The Kristen Cho, at The Kristen Cho, and you have
Cameron.word.
And fortunately, Cameron, we don't get much negativity. I rarely get any negativity, negative comments on my feed.
Yeah, I don't either, really.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Yeah. Thank
I mean,
goodness.
yeah, the only time when our fans message us, it's for good things.
It's good things.
So we definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay. All right. Fame is a double-edged sword bringing both admiration and loss of privacy. So whether you're on social media or not, but if you're just famous in general, it's a double-edged sword.
Yes.
We know that.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, well, you get like all this, respect and admiration, a lot of attention, but then you can't go to the grocery store, without a hat and maybe sunglasses.
Yeah. I know there are some people I know like this.
Really?
Living in Korea.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of difficult.
I would think so.
Yeah. I've tried traveling with them sometimes, like just, whatever. It's kind of annoying.
Really? And you get to see that.
Right, yeah. Because, I mean, it's fine if people are like, oh, hello, or whatever. Sometimes there are people that are going too far, right? That's when the
boundaries.
issues, the boundary.
They don't step over the boundaries.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fame to me is not appealing at all to me.
Yeah.
I love broadcasting, but the idea of my face being everywhere, I don't, no thank you. Yeah. Okay. If you lose it, it means to lose control of your emotion, whether it's tears, grief, sadness, anger, sometimes even laughter. Like,
yeah, you can.
You kind of like, you keep it in, you're trying not to laugh, and you lost it, and you laugh at a time when you're not supposed to.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What will I do if I don't get the job? My life will be over.
Don't lose it over the small stuff. It's not worth the stress. Yeah.
Right. This is kind of overreacting.
Yes.
She completely lost it after hearing the shocking news about the accident.
So both of these are negative, right? One is sadness. The other one is anxiety. It can sometimes be used for something positive, like you said with the laughing. But it's the feeling of, I'm not supposed to laugh. Maybe you hear a joke, but it's supposed to be a very serious moment.
Well, one time on live radio, with my Brian, who was the previous co-host, I was a reporter for another station, and we lost it. We couldn't talk while we were trying to do the broadcasting.
Yes.
So in that case, you could say we lost it.
Right. I've done that before as well. Yes.
All right. Our power pattern is that must have been. 였겠네, right? Like you say, yeah. That must have been hard to do by yourself.
Oh, that must have been weird seeing her after so long.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a great pattern.
It
That
is.
must have been like great. Oh, that must have been so uncomfortable. Okay. Power vocab is the word close up, right? It's not close up, but close up. Do check out the definition on page 66. What else should we do?
Please go to Audio Hakdang, and for a small monthly fee, you can get so much amazing content.
Okay, very good. And please make sure to join us live at 6 p.m. today on Evening Special. See you there. Bye-bye.